Justin, is it Zurich?
Zarek.
And this is cause number 26 DCCR 0317. Mr. Zarek's charged with driving while intoxicated with a child passenger. And what is the announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, we've received the offer in this case. We're just asking for additional time to.
I have no issues, Your Honor. I've given 2 alternative offers, and that may allow some time for them to get some mitigation documents for me.
All right, thank you. So we'll just do a normal reset. It's about 30 days or so. Make sure you stay in touch with your attorneys. They'll let you know when you need to be back. You can visit with them between now and then about all of the discovery in your case, and we'll see if we can get an announcement.
It looks like the media has been tender.
Okay,
Judge.
thank you, Ms. Malvino. Okay, thank you. All are free to go. You're Malik Ellis. And Mr. Ellis was previously in court in cause number 1726733, entered pleas of not true and a motion to revoke probation. It's my understanding that there has been, that it's still, we're here for sentencing. I've gotten the pre-sentence report, but it's my understanding that he's going to enter pleas of true to some of the counts as change his pleas. Is that correct? And so will he waive the formal reading of that motion again?
So
So let's go through the motion again. Mr. Ellis, so it looks like before you pled true to counts 3 and 6, and you're on probation for the second-degree felony offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That was a 7-year deferred probation that was extended for 2 years. Let's go back. Count 1 alleges that you committed the new offense of possession of marijuana, a Class A misdemeanor on November 18th of 2025. And is that true or not true?
True.
Count 2 alleges that you failed to report to the probation officer your change of address. Is that true or not true?
Not true.
Count 2 is not true still. Count 3. I'm making the modification here on the agreed punishment recommendation. Mr. Kimler, y'all wrote in 2, but he pled not true to 2 just now. So I'm
There
gonna
wasn't.
He was going to.
on which counts he was gonna plead true to. Y'all
Everything.
wrote in 2. I'm marking through 2 because he pled not true.
And I'll put on evidence of that for the court judge.
Okay, and then count 3, he already pled true to. Count 4,
We abandoned, Your Honor.
state abandons. Okay, and then count 5 alleges that you possessed an illegal drug, namely marijuana, and that you were in possession of it November 18th of 2025. Is that true or not true?
True.
And then you already pled true to count 6. So today you've changed your pleas and pled true to counts 1 and 5. And you do that freely and voluntarily?
Mhm.
And did you plead true to counts 1 and 5 because they're actually true?
Yes.
All right, then at this time, I'm going to find counts 1, 3, 5, and 6 true. And Ms. Malfino, you have evidence with regard to count 2?
Very briefly, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. And would you please raise your right hand, ma'am?
Yes,
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. And if you'll just state your name for the record, please, ma'am.
My name is Shay Kane.
Thank you, Ms. Kane. Go ahead, Ms. Malfino.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Kane, would you please identify what you do for a living for the record?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a community supervision officer for the Jefferson County Adult Probation Department.
And how long have you been with the department?
I have been with the department for a year, but I've been a probation officer for about 3 years.
Okay. And do you have occasion to know a Malik Jamal Ellis?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see him in the courtroom today?
I do.
And is he one of your probationers that you supervise for this court?
Yes, ma'am.
And as a condition of that supervision, was he read all the rules and conditions, gone over those with him of what the court expected his behavior to comply with while on probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Was one of those that he at all times provide you with an accurate address of a residence and location of his job, et cetera, so that the community supervision department and thereby the court could find him at any time?
Yes, ma'am.
And if he changed this address, was he told or informed that he needed to indicate such to the probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your review of your file and your contact with Mr. Ellis, the defendant, did he change his address and report such to you?
According to the offense report that I received on November 18th,
Hang on just a second. It's okay. We'll just wait till he calms down a minute. Maybe they'll come get him. All right, go ahead.
According to the offense report I received on November 18th, it had appeared that he gave the officers a different address on the report itself. And based on that, he had never told me about any different residential since I've been supervising him.
And based on your supervision, you also became aware that he was arrested and has now pled true to possession of marijuana back in November of 2025, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Would this have been obviously in violation of his probation?
Yes, ma'am.
And in discussions between you and I last week, we decided not to bring a lab analyst to prove that up, even though we have the Trooper Lucio here in court today, based on the fact that 2 days later, he tested positive for said marijuana, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have some other thoughts that you would like to share with the court at the appropriate time with respect to what your position is as to continuing him or revoking him off this probation?
Yes, ma'am.
And can we hold on that for a second?
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
have additional for the
Yes,
court.
ma'am.
And Judge, I'd like to just wait following cross-examination, also ask at the appropriate time that with the thanks of the state, that trooper be released this morning. He's here in court.
Any issue with the trooper being released? Thank you so much for being here, sir. You're free to go. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Kimler, do you have any questions of Ms. Kane?
Just want to be clear, so he filled out some paperwork and listed an address that was different to the one he reported to you.
It appeared that he told the officers at the time he was arrested, what I read on the office report, it was a different than what I had in my system. It was 845 Madison that I had, and it was a different address listed at the time he was arrested.
No further questions.
All right. No, ma'am, we're not. All right. Mr. Any other witnesses then?
I don't believe so. I'd like to cross-examine that witness if they're called, but
Yeah.
I think I know where that's going.
Okay. Do you intend to call any witnesses?
Well, I guess I can call Grace. She wants to talk, so.
Well, I mean, is it
Let's look at it like I should.
no, go ahead. With regard to what issue?
Where's your grandmother?
Oh, she was just there for the change of address part. She just there for support.
Okay, that's fine.
What explanation? I'd call Mr. Pelletin.
Raise your hand. Well, did they already swear you over here today? All right, go ahead.
What explanation do you have for the difference in the addresses?
It must have went off my ID. My ID say my mama address, but I stayed with my grandmother. When they came to pick me up from my warrant, they picked me up at 845 Madison. They said
Okay,
But your driver's license, your ID says what?
4751 Elton Road. That's my mother's house.
okay,
But that's not what you
I
stay.
stay with my grandmother, which is the house that's on fire.
okay. You know, it's a law that you change your license when you
I
Move.
ain't know what-
So you can see the kind of issues that gets you in if you don't.
That's my-
Right. So it's very important that you take care of that. All right, anything else with regard to the actual counts?
Not from the state.
Okay, then at this time, I'm going to find
Yeah.
counts 1, 3, 5, and 6 true. Find sufficient evidence to find Mr. Ellis guilty. Mr. Kimler, what is your position with regard to punishment?
Well, Your Honor, this is from 2017, so I guess he's been on probation. I'm approaching 10 years perhaps. I think it was extended one time. Obviously, he's had issues on probation, his latest one having to do with marijuana. I would just observe that he was negative today in court on the drug test. I guess he has at least refrained from using marijuana since this last incident and the last time he was tested and tested positive. The court, as it's presented, has the options, is presented to either keep him on probation or let him discharge or revoke him. I think there's a middle position where he could be unsuccessfully discharged from probation without being revoked. That may be an option that the court would explore instead of having just at the end of this period of time revoke him and send him to the penitentiary. There's an option to unsuccessfully discharge him from probation. And that would be what I would suggest if the court's inclined not to let him to sanction and not let him stay on probation, but to unsuccessfully discharge him from probation in lieu of revoking him and send him to the penitentiary. You got anything you want to tell the judge?
How long, hold on. What's the time frame on getting the MRT class done? How long is that?
How long is it?
Process.
It's about 18-week course. It's in the probation office itself.
How many weeks do we have left? Is that something that if could he get started on that next week? If that's, I don't know if that's where I'm going, but
Yes, ma'am.
hold on.
We just have to buy the book, and so we can get him into the program.
Ms. Malfino?
Judge, I would defer to anything Ms. Kane has. We've spoken multiple times about the case. I know she's tried everything. I'd just like her to let the court know her thoughts.
Well, we can't extend again, can we? Or is there any time frame left?
So he's at his 9 years
So we could do one more.
at the very, yes, ma'am. That would be the max that we
Gotcha.
have left.
Okay.
And he has also been to ISF cognitive track as well. But as far as what I would possibly recommend would be to put him on the high medium risk caseload for the rest of the entirety if the court allows, zero tolerance, and possibly place him on the drop program to continue the more in-depth testing if the court would allow.
Anything else? Ms. Malfino to add to that?
Judge, I don't have much. Of course, I would defer to Ms. Kane and the court. Obviously, the state is somewhat frustrated with Mr. Ellis not taking initial responsibility. That's what I think people should get favor for instead of having the trooper have to be here. And thankfully, we didn't have a $3,000 plane ticket for a lab analyst to then what he then wanted to come in and admit. I would have rather him taken responsibility. And I don't say that in the context of disavow him of his rights to contest it. It's just that if he's
No, it's a
not,
very frustrating.
if
thing
he's
for
not
me
being
as well. And
forthright
it's,
with the court, should he have the benefit of the continuance on probation is all, not in the context of a not true. I understand that.
I wouldn't take the blame for that, if I'm not, Your Honor, in a way, in dealing with these cases that I perhaps advise my clients.
I know that's something probably needs to be addressed. We've talked about recently on several of them because it's very frustrating to have people come and take time out of their day, out of their work. The state have to expend that just to quote, set it for a hearing. When if it's going to end up, if somebody did something, they need to take responsibility for it. It goes over so much more with me, I think with the state, with probation, and it should be something that someone is encouraged to take personal responsibility instead of saying, let's see if they can prove it.
If I might, I'll try to address that in the future.
I
So
appreciate
I hate
it.
him to be harmed by something that I probably recommend.
I mean, you've been on probation for so long to be making these kinds of mistakes, you know? I could revoke you right now and send you to prison for 20 years. That's how serious this is. It's not a game. And I know you've been on it a long time, but, I get the whole argument, smoking marijuana is not that big of a deal. Well, it is if you're on probation.
It wasn't like that.
Well, you got arrested.
No, I'm saying I made a mistake, but it wasn't, I don't just smoke weed,
Well, but you have because you've tested positive a few times. So I understand that maybe you don't all the time like some people, but you have. And you got arrested for it, for having it. And so here's what I'm gonna do, Mr. Ellis, and I want you to take advantage of this because after all this time, you don't have the conviction on your record. You're about to get the opportunity of a lifetime. You've already gotten a huge opportunity. When I do things like this, what I'm about to do, and you don't take advantage of it, it is typically going to be a whole lot worse than if I were to just revoke you today. So I want to make sure you understand that you're being given an opportunity, finish this probation, and hopefully not have any more issues because it's going to be very serious if you don't. So I'm going to find that you, again, entered your pleas of true to counts 1, 3, 5, And 6, freely and voluntarily find those counts true, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty and revoke the probation. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to extend it that last year that we've got to extend it. So you've got one more year. You will be on the drop program, so you'll be tested more frequently. You're going to be on the high medium caseload, which means you'll have to report more frequently. That's the price you pay for getting in trouble, but it's a whole lot better than going to prison and having the felony conviction. If you do everything like you're supposed to between now and the end of that next year, you're off probation. If you don't, you're in prison. All right, any questions?
Okay.
So
Right.
for the court also order the MRT class that you had mentioned.
Yeah, so the MRT class was already ordered. I want that started within 30 days.
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to get a job if you don't already have one. You need to do whatever you do to buy that book. I want that class completed. No questions asked. I don't want you waiting until the last minute. It's 18-week class. I want it started within the next 30 days. That's in order. You understand? If you have any questions about
This case highlights the fine line between second chances and serious consequences. After years on probation, the defendant admitted to multiple violations that could have easily led to a long prison sentence. Instead, the judge chose a different path, one last opportunity to turn things around. But make no mistake, this wasn't leniency without conditions. Strict supervision, drug programs, and mandatory compliance now define his future. The judge's message was clear: accountability matters, and patience has limits. This moment serves as a powerful reminder that the justice system can offer redemption, but only to those willing to take responsibility and change. One wrong move from here could mean everything is lost.